This right here is my PlayStation 2, and I'm going to be up front here and admit that I spent a lot of time, a considerable amount of money, and shed a lot of tears trying to make this thing a lot better than it was when I originally got it at a thrift store. Gee, about 6 years ago now, I think. So I just want to talk about why this PlayStation 2 is really cool and does a lot of things that a lot of other PS2s probably don't right now. So let's go ahead and turn it on really quick. There's been a ton of mods done to this PlayStation 2 that I'm going to start going over. And going around the back here is where there's going to be a lot more of the interesting things about this PS2 right here. I'll start with probably the most exciting part. This is the Easy PS2 HDD mod. And essentially what it does is it replaces the housing of the old PS2 like Ethernet adapter, hard drive adapter that you could buy in retail, and it changes it so that rather than putting a hard drive like inside the PS2 right here, it actually creates like this fake floppy drive that you can stuff a regular SSD into. So you can see this is just a 1 terabyte Kingston SSD. I put a little tape flap on here to be able to get it in and out. And this is where all of my PS2 games are living. It's very, very convenient to keep all of my games on here, in my opinion. And because you can just take the drive out and put it back in so easily. Oh, it's stuck. And since it's relatively pretty easy to just pull that drive out and push it back in, I'm not all too afraid to try new games on my PlayStation 2 because in the PS2 homebrew world, you basically take the drive out and plug it into a computer in order to copy games on it, because this drive is actually formatted with a special file system that the PS2 is able to read. And so each game is basically a separate partition on this SSD. That seems to be the way that everybody does it, and so having a mod like this where you can just slide the drive in and out like this saves a whole lot of time. You can also see here, just a little bit further down, I also have a fan right there. And this is not the fan that originally came with the console. So this is another 3D printable mod that essentially replaces this whole backplate right here of the PlayStation 2, and it gives you this spot for a new fan, which actually sticks out of the back of the console a little bit. And I have a high quality Thermalright fan sitting in here because that old fan was not very good. It was very grindy. The bearings were definitely 20 years old. So it was definitely time for it to go. You can see it mounts to this complete replacement backplate that also goes around the ports and everything. So it's a pretty complete mod. I'll try to find the page where I got this as well so I can credit the creator. But unfortunately, this did not go perfectly. I made a really dumb decision when I installed the fan because I asked ChatGPT where I should be soldering the 12-volt line for the fan to actually get it powered, and it told me about this very convenient soldering pad that I could just connect the 12-volt lead of the fan wire to, and everything should have been absolutely fine. And it does indeed run at the full 12 volts and keeps this PS2 very cool, but only when the hard drive is running, which is a really big problem if the hard drive is not running. This was honestly very short-sighted, and I should have spent a lot more time trying to figure out where the fan needed to be connected, but I'm not going to worry about it. I just configured the CFW to always spin up the hard drive and keep it going. I should also mention that this PS2 was pretty gross when I first got it. I had to do a full cleaning of the shell, of the motherboard and everything, and replaced a lot of very old and cracked thermal pads. Some of them on the power delivery ICs were literally so terribly stuck on there that they were like flaking off, and they were just absolutely stuck to the chips. I was kind of worried I was going to rip them off the board. Thankfully, that didn't happen, and I went ahead and replaced all of the thermal pads in the system as well. It's hopefully going to be running much cooler now. And I guess I should also mention, as I hook up my PS2 here, that I am using a HD Retrovision cable. This is not sponsored. They didn't give this to me. I bought it myself. And I just wanted to be able to get the very best video quality from my PS2. And it turns out that these cables do actually make a difference. When you're trying to get the PS2 running on a old VGA monitor like this that really resolves 480p detail if you're playing progressive scan games, it really resolves every single pixel. So you need a decent video cable, and running through the OSSC, just using a HDMI to VGA adapter to get that 640 by 480 output to the monitor, I think it looks really, really good. I'll try to get some really close shots. And honestly, I don't think you could get anything remotely this good for the price that I was able to pay, which was basically just for the OSSC and the component cable. The VGA monitor was very graciously given to me. So I'm getting basically PVM level video quality, in my opinion, with progressive scan 31 kilohertz content. For a way smaller price than a PVM, which is what most people are going with for really high quality CRT gaming on a PS2. So I'm very happy with how this setup turned out. And as I mentioned, one of the things that I just really love about the PlayStation 2 is how far people are pushing the system with Homebrew. So as you can see over there, I'm currently running Tyracraft. I don't exactly know how you pronounce it. But this is essentially an implementation of a game engine that tries to give you Minecraft on a PlayStation 2, which I thought was very, very interesting. So we're just going to try to get into a game here. I'm going to create a world. It's honestly really impressive, in my opinion, that a PlayStation 2 with 32 megabytes of RAM is able to give you, for better or for worse, what seems to be Minecraft. Wow, it really looks like Minecraft. How do I get my inventory there? Let's see. Let's get a pumpkin. How about that? Jack-o'-lantern. And it even has light. I don't know what button is jump. But it's Minecraft, and I mean, it's a coherent world, although I've reached the edge of it. It's not a very big world. I'd like to know if you can adjust. You can up the draw distance. Oh, it's the D-pad. Okay. There we go. So you can actually go up and down. I guess I'm always just going to be flying like this. Okay, now I'm on the ground. Oh, okay, now I have gravity. It's Minecraft. There's a pig over there. Can I get the pig? I'm stuck in the water, and I'm beginning to drown. It's quite convincing visually, other than the fact that it's seems to have just crashed. I'm hoping we might just be frozen, but no, I think we crashed. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing with this PS2, trying a bunch of weird homebrew. Maybe I'll try to make some homebrew software that doesn't crash like this. As impressive as this is still, amazing work to the team that made this, because the PS2 is not a very powerful system. So making Minecraft work on it in any capacity is honestly very impressive. But I hope you enjoyed this quick little overview of my PlayStation 2 and why I think it's a very interesting system. And yeah, have a good one.